All right, guys. Let me see how my volume is going. Do a test. Let's see how things sound. Make sure that guys like the video as well. Hmm. Wait, 1 second, guys. 1 second. All right, guys. We could begin. Welcome to this new series I like to call The Toxic Femininity Book Review, Part 1. Now, as you know, I am not going to go through the whole entire book. It's only fair you buy the book. The link's in the description to where to find and purchase this book. This is a very much a wonderful, beautiful masterpiece. I think one of its kind, I believe. I don't think no one else ever produced material like this, but it's something that should be examined and looked at carefully. 1 second. So no further ado, I'm gonna get right to the point here. And let's keep in mind, guys, if you look on Amazon, particularly of this particular book, if you type in toxic femininity, which I'll do right now, are there many books written about femininity? And as I'm looking through all the books on Amazon, I do not see any other book that's labeled toxic femininity. All I see is toxic femininity in the workplace, office gender politics are a battlefield by Hogan. And there's another toxic femininity book by a woman named Claire. And those are Kindle versions. And there's one that Karma is a ish. So really truly there are a few books that talk about toxic femininity. And they got some talking about toxic masculinity. The point is this: the book that I'm reading right now to you is the first of its kind, one that breaks down all the femininity in workplace, in your daily lives, and generally toxic in nature and why it is so toxic, and what is labeled and what is deemed toxic. So, no further ado, and as you guys come in, please like the stream. Likes are free. If you want to donate, be so inclined. So, oh, and let me test if my volume's working because you know how things are when you do these things. The volume can be iffy, and I gotta make sure everything sounds right. Hmm. Let me see if I sounds. Let me see how it sounds. Hello, hello. Okay, I sound good. All right, so okay, I hear myself. So that's good. There won't be no echo. All right, guys. So let's begin. Y'all can hear me well. Hope you can hear the volume. Good. Let's begin. I'm gonna pull it up. And the man I had up here that talked about toxic femininity was no other than Mumia Asidi Ali. And now I'm going to give you the background of this book. Titled Toxic Femininity. Toxic Femininity, the Black Man's Guide to Modern Black Feminism. Now, mind you, we know feminism is not just a black thing, but it's usually a womanist thing all across the globe. Mostly you find more prevalent in the Western hemisphere we call North America. And only North America is really where feminism really shows its ugly head. Now, there might be other instances in history that it's was founded in Europe at first, but we all know European people in Europe, England, Scottish, Irish, or whatever you want to call, their feminism is totally different, but not as extreme up here in America. So no further ado, let's go into it. And this is written by Mumia Obsidian Ali. And it's always published by Obsidian Media Publications, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, by Mumia Obsidian Ali, copyrights 2024, all rights reserved. And there's a memo message by what Obsidian wants to give his respects and praise in all dues by what is said here for sister Shiraza Ali, mother of the Black Manasseh. And in here, there's some beginning page of people that looked at the book or give their own acknowledgement of the works that Obsidian has done. Praise for Toxic Femininity, the Black Man's Guide to Modern Black Feminism. Mumia Obsidian Ali's new book, Toxic Femininity, is the Black Man's Guide to Modern Black Feminism. It is an epical masterpiece. It is not just a book of anecdotes, it's backed up with data and empirical evidence, cutting edge. And this is by Dr. Albert Higgins, clinical psychologist, sociologist, and businessman. Another person that gives praise and acknowledgement. Toxic Femininity, the Black Man's Guide to Modern Black Feminism, is a long-form discussion of what happens in classrooms versus what happens on the streets. Meaning, we want things one way in our minds, but in practice, this is what actually happens. Good read for someone who wants to see the gender war discussion through someone's staunchly on Black men's side. Looping in current events to tie the themes of chapters while recording Black social media dramas that will serve as a source document in the future academia classes in strategic by Chris Hutchinson, veteran U.S. Air Force STEM professional, real estate investor, and family man. Next, a scathing critique of modern Black feminism in practice. Mumia Obsidian Ali calls to focus the inconsistencies of Black feminism related to the present ideologies of feminism from the perspective of everyday Black men. Professor Odie, licensed medical clinical therapist, social media influencer, and co-host of the Express Yourself Black Men podcast. And here we got table of contents. And before I go into table of contents, let me make sure. Take a brief pause. I'm just doing something quickly, guys, before I continue. Okay, did I forget anybody? That's not it. Okay. Hold on, guys. Hmm. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you guys. This book will not be released till November the 6th, for those that's not familiar. But it's always good to get your orders now to get a copy for yourself. No, it wouldn't hurt. Okay, I think that should be all. And did I forget anything? Because I'm just checking. Oh, yeah, I did forget something. Let me do this quickly. Let me see. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. I'll try and find one more thing. All right. Okay. This should be it. I might have spelled it wrong, but who's keep track? All right. So let me see if I got anything. All right. Did I miss anything? All right. Somebody send me something. I don't know who the hell sent me this. Oh man. All right. Let's continue. All right, what's good, bro? All right, let's read more into this. I had to do that. The table of contents. And like I said, and I will repeat, I am not going through the whole entire book. The purpose of this book reading is to get you a clear, course idea and why the importance of this book and the necessity of this book being released now to the whole world to consume and have a clear understanding of actual feminism, or what they call toxic femininity. In regards, it more focused mostly on the Black woman, mostly, and we could say other ones, but mostly, no one has already dissected and really critically analyzed the Black woman and the single femininity. But Mumia Absina Ali is the first person to do so. All right. One will be acknowledgement, the introduction. Then chapter 1, modern Black feminism explained. Chapter 2, 5 reasons why Black feminism is a failure. Chapter 3, the color purple of Black America. I finished chapter 2, but that's chapter 3. Chapter 4, modern Black feminists say manosphere is a public health crisis, a founding father of the Black manosphere response. Chapter 5, a real-time example of the difference between modern white feminism and modern Black feminism, a very important chapter. Chapter 6, the so-called queen maker, caught cold busted. Chapter 7. What do Cynthia G's deletion and modern black feminism have in common? Chapter 8. Yet more evidence that Kimberly Nicole somebody claims that the black master is a public health crisis and other debunk. Chapter 9. The political is always right. I mean, it's always personal. The politics actually. Chapter 10. Brittany Renner proves modern black feminism hates black women more than the black master ever could. Chapter 11. The Pick Me Papers. Chapter 12. Eat to Mr. Farrar noticing. De Niro Farrar's notice. Chapter 13. Raheem DeVoe, Queen for a Day, have on no clothes. Chapter 14. Modern black feminism, useful idiots. Chapter 15. Edging Stones and Tina Campbell prove domestic violence is not a one-way street in Black America. Chapter 16. Will Brittany Garner get the Ray Rice treatment? Chapter 17. Stephen A. Smith was right in censoring thugs are punishing him for it. Chapter 18. Amber Rose Slutwalk, take a wrong turn. Chapter 19. What do modern black feminism, Jada Pinkett Smith, and the politics of responsibility have in common? Chapter 20. The so-called gender war. Chapter 21. The Passport Bros prove just how hypocritical modern black feminism really are. Chapter 22. Are modern black feminists in denial about water seeking its own level? Chapter 23. The tragedy of Ebony K. Williams, another casualty of modern black feminism. Chapter 24. Andre Lord proves modern black feminists who live in a hypocritical glass house should try to throw stones at the black master. Chapter 25. Ebony Magazine, from Black America icons to defaulting deadbeats. Chapter 26. Brittany Cooper is very personal. Political problem. Chapter 27. Consent for me, but not for thee, and other black feminist hypocrites. Chapter 28. Brittany Cooper never met a prominent black man she didn't hate, and it's all daddy's fault. Chapter 29. Black feminists don't need to go on strike. They need to get a life. Chapter 30. The Miss Anne Syndrome. Chapter 31. Being a modern black feminist means never having to say you're sorry. Chapter 32. Modern black feminists accuse black master of not liking educated women. Black master leader responds. Okay. Chapter 33. The modern black feminist war on beauty. Chapter 34. Modern black feminists love pocket watching the black master economy. Oh, that is so true. Chapter 35. Pushing Feminista Jones bottom. A book review. Chapter 36. The inability to seek consent. Chapter 37. Keep Feminista Jones, and all black feminists out of the mainstream media. I think good luck to that. But, yeah. Chapter 38. Wonder why they call you how Tupac informs the so-called street harassment debate. Chapter 39. Why the You OK Sis White Feather campaign failed badly. Chapter 40. Feminista Jones, I'm a PhD moment. Chapter 41. The last hurrah of Feminista Jones. Oh wow, he likes Feminista Jones. Anyway, Chapter 42. Feminista Jones, a retrospect. Chapter 43. Monique proved that diva culture is ruinous to black women. Chapter 44. Why modern black feminists will never understand conservative hints if you're hypocrites stupid. Chapter 45. Modern black feminists is anti-Semitic no matter how much context you try to put on it. Okay. Afterwards, is modern black feminist dead? Reference, glossary, key debates, tactics used by black feminists, etc., etc. And that's just the table of contents. Let me see what we're doing on the other end. This guy. Okay, y'all listen. Good, good. All right. All right. Acknowledgement. There are a number of people who helped to make this book possible and such. I'd like to recognize and thank them. First up, Theo Wap, whom we at the Black Master Conclave affectionately call the Bank of Theo, has staunch support in bringing his volume and out and cannot be praised enough. Second, I'd like to thank the Erbidit brothers who took the time out of their busy lives to review chapters of this book and offer their siege insight, suggesting that critique all efforts of making the book better. Message received, and you know who you are. Third, I'd like to thank Book Baby, my publisher, for once again coming through with the professionalism and humanity they are world renowned for. They have and continue to make my dreams a reality. Fourth, many thanks to Dr. Tia Sanjans, who has four square behind this book project and so graciously gave of us time and expertise, allowing me to pick his brain for hours and of the end. And he's laughing out loud for this one. I'm gonna skim it through this, guys. Introduction. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh yeah. Like the previous two books, Toxic Femininity, The Black Man's Guide to Modern Black Feminism, wasn't planned in the least. Rather, it came about as a result of some very interesting events in the past year. Do tell. Most notable, my run with one Miss K. Nicole, and for they call for Harriet Fame, always the one to run off at the mouth, half cooked or half cocked, really. She made a series of statements, not just about the Black Master, not just about the Pastor Bros, but also about other Black women who dare to disagree with her rap worldwide or worldview that I couldn't resist weighing in on the whole ball of wax, and along the way have a grand old time of it. And I wish she put laughing out loud, but you know, he ain't gonna do that. Hold on. Hold on. All right. In the fall of last year, October to be exact, the idea struck me to actually take my numerous live shows and podcast takedowns of Foster ridiculously. Notions and ideas, write them down, and publish them as a book. All right. Especially now that I had actually taken to posting my replies to her drive in writing, I've been right about what I would call modern Black feminism for years, dating back at least since 2014. Now, that's roughly a decade ago or so, but it had never occurred to me to compile all these writings and present them as one coherent volume for the brothers at large. And since October 2023 was the first time I returned to actively write about modern Black feminism. The last time I done so was 5 years ago. I thought that my community tab posts on YouTube would make an excellent base for a full-scale book. Kimberly Nicole Foster was the catalyst for the ideal, or for that ideal. So it's all her fault. Damn. God damn it. God damn it. I know it was a woman's fault that helped compile and create this wonderful masterpiece of a book on toxic femininity, black toxic femininity. All praise due to the Allahs. Anyhow, as I begin putting together the early notes and research in the fall of last year for the what would eventually become the book you now holding in your hand, this big book, this book like almost 300, 500 pages or close to that, you know. Where was I? Interesting research questions pop into my mind. Why aren't there any books for level-headed black men about what modern black feminism is, where it come from or where it came from, and how to deal with it? I mean, in my opinion, you can't unless you don't confront the deal with black women in general. But we all know black men, we love the black something. Every man wants, this engage in, some intercourse with black box. But yeah. Anyhow, from what I can tell, and by all accounts, no such stands alone femme exists. Perhaps the closest we have to it was written at the closing of the 20th century by Earl Ofra Hutchinson, called The Assassination of the Black Male Image, 1997. That's now 27 years old. I don't have that book. Someone could look at the book. If they read the book, let me know in the comment section of this, please. All right. And of course, Hutchinson, the always Pignus Emmanuel, or what do you call it? Pignus Emmanuel, or Ismail Reed, and other interpret black men writers, thinking and scholars weigh in on the matters in articles and essays published in newspapers, magazines, and other outlets around the country. But none of them had actually undertaken the project of writing a book lengthy treatise of exact what modern black feminism is, how it moves and show up in real time, and what black men can and should do about it. It is so often the case, it became all too apparent that I would have to write the book myself. And so, after dust settles, YouTube between Foster and me in early 2024 or 2024, the exact what I did. That's exactly what I did. Sorry. This is the fastest book I've written to date, from conception on the drawing board in October of 2023 to it's a wrap in late June 2024. And I think he ended on one of his last broadcasts. So he did tell people it was finished, but yeah. It took a mere 9 months. My previous two books took me at least a year, if not more, to write. But at the same time, and unlike the other two books, this one was also the most challenging. I say that because, and as I point out above, to my knowledge, there has never been a book length treatment of modern black feminism conceived of, written, and presenting by a black man, and I was understandably concerned with getting it right, which he did, and he will. I hope that what I've done here will inspire other black men writing the way and with their own take. I realize that I may stand alone in this regards, and as such, I want what I write to be able to stand the test of time, which it will. By the way, that praise modern black feminism is my own creation. But that I mean that what do you call it? Democrats, what Democrats, yep. The black feminists of today, like Foster, and those of yesterday years, like say of Alice Walker or a Bell Hooks. Bell Hooks. Wait, hold on. Is the internet. Modern black feminism lives and breathes online and brings their own what they call peculiarities along with them. This book attempts to make clear the distinctions and similarities between modern black feminism and its OG predecessors. You will get to decide whether I've done a good job or a good enough job of it, which we'll know. And I would advise you get the book yourself. I think this is some of his times. And I think he will do a very good job. A damn good job, to be honest with you. Anyhow. All right, what else? The subtitles of this book is a homage of Sister Shahrazad Ali, whose immortal classic, The Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman, is still going strong 35 years later. It was literally written the same year Kimberly Nicole Foster was born, and when Brittany Cooper and Femininity Jones were in grade school, and is still relevant as ever. You know, he's right about that. It's really the year when she's not there. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Oh, I never thought of that. Okay. Sister Ali views about black feminism were quite clear, both in print and in numerous film interviews up to present day. She felt that it was a fool's errand on the part of black women to attempt to ape what they saw Miss Anne do. Sister Ali was of the view that white feminism was really about white women being upset with white men and had absolutely nothing to do with black men and black women, not the least of which because both of us were chafing under the boot of Jim Crow for roughly a century after the end of the Civil War and several centuries of chattel slavery prior to that. She was continuing to be a majority inspiration to me, and though that I will pick up where she left off insofar as black feminism, or as I like to put it in this book, modern black feminism is concerned, which is concerning. A word about the order, structure, and makeup of this book. As noted above, this book came about a direct result of my interaction with Foster on YouTube last year. She would constantly come over to my channel and spam up my comment section, but I will never went to her and spam up the place with comments. And I decided that in addition to printing my replies to her kooky takes, that I would also go back into my archives and reprint selected articles I had written about modern black feminism in forms of Brittany Cooper and Femininity Jones, two other big names in the online black feminist world. Indeed, this book really centers on my de facto debates that I had with all three: Kimberly Nicole Foster, Brittany Cooper, Femininity Jones, and to whom I refer to in this book as the big three of modern black feminism. By no means, and I suggest that they are the end all of all modern black feminism. They are not definite and comprehensive. Rather, I want to argue that they are illustrative of what modern black feminism is in the real times over the theories. That another majority theme that I touch on in this book, the distinctions between the theory of modern black feminism and its actual practice. And much of that practice is self-serving, self-aggrandiosis, contradictory, and most of all, downright hypocritical. Throughout the book, I also point out the very real mental issues of the big three have to demonstrate are issues that are well documented among some of the biggest movers or shakers of the white feminist world as well. So here we can say with confidence that the modern black feminists have done their job, monkey see, monkey do, in aping their white feminist sisters, while I would even go so far as to say that these mental and emotional issues will be even more acute, since there is mountains of evidence that prolonged exposure to social media can and does have deleterious effects, especially on human female brain, or the human female, human female brain. Yeah. I also want something to be very clear, understood. Since this book just might be my most controversial yet, we must make a very important distinction between modern black feminism and particularly a black woman at large. The two are not one and the same. The former hews to a particular ideology, one that is wrong-headed, factually inaccurate, anti-black male, anti-black love, and relationship anti-black family, and ultimately anti-black American society itself. On the other hand, the vast majority of black women are not these things, and I want to caution my brothers reading this not to allow themselves to fall into the traps of thinking that all or even most rank and file black women are in fact part of the modern black feminist party faithfully. While they do not have a degree of influence online, and that influence seems to be on the whims or the whims at the present, they are not, nor have they ever been representative of polarity of black women. At best, they are fringing elements, marginally remnants of deeply bothered, deep disturbed, and deeply butthurt black women who are mad at life itself for dealing them a ishy deal or ishy hand. And that's cussing, but I just want to know that. Brother, simply because a black woman disagrees with you does not automatically make her a modern black feminist. Let's highlight that. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. One of the chief aims of this book is to identify exactly what and whom a modern black feminist is out in the world, in the wild, so that you will know her on sight and to make the most important distinction between them and black women out there who got some sense. And keep in mind, common sense is a phenomenon, a rare phenomenon amongst a lot of people, not just black people, but in general. For those that don't know. All right. At any rate, roughly half of this book is made up of previous articles that have been reprinted in this volume. In doing so, I hope to convey to the reader my thinking of these issues and the length of breadth of time that I've been doing so. Again, we're talking about going back roughly a decade from the current year of 2024 and reaching back into the heydays of the big three, which was when content modern black feminism was at the height. Those articles turned chapters will be easy marked at the top of the page, starting with the word note in capital letters, given the original publication date, and either the A voice for men for Four Guys, Nigromasphere, or returning of the King's website. Additionally, there have been lightly edits for clarity and notes added for quick and easy reference. The other half of this book comprised my replies to Miss Foster last fall, in which there were quite a few, along with roughly 8 brand new chapters never before published in any form or seen by the general public until now. And you guys go read that for yourself. I won't go into those. In all, toxic femininity and the Black Man's Guide to Modern Black Feminism is a 45 chapter tome that I hope will prove to be the first ever book length critique of the response to modern Black feminism in our time. And time will tell the tale as to whether it's successful or if I succeeded. Sorry. One thing is for certain, I got the last word. Yeah. All right. Let me take a quick breather. And this from Movement of Sally. This book was finished and published, was completed June 30th, 2024. So it was completed now on 1, 2, 3, 4 months ago. Let me see. Should I go into the first one? Wow, this is long. All right. Screw it. I might as well. I said part 1. So look at the first one. Make sure you guys hit the like button, share the stream. Let's take a look, see what's going on in the chat room. Oh, I see something. Well, we'll do this.
Let they be knocking, y'all. The sonic rings up out of it, and you.
All right, thank you, Tevin King, for your donation to the channel. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, sorry. Hold on. All right. Go back to my screen. Let's begin. And before we begin, let me just take a look quickly. Cool. Cool. I'm just checking some, guys. All right. I would say chapter 1. Chapter 1, Modern Black Feminism Explained. Let's begin this book by asking a burning and much so needed important question. Exactly what is modern Black feminism? What distinguishes it from the more generic Black feminism, and what difference does it make? Let's take each of these questions in turn, shall we? First, the phrase modern Black feminism is one of my own creation in the fall of 2023 when I was dealing with Miss Foster and for Harriet fame insistent, trolling and spamming of my YouTube channel. Like her follower sisters, she would show up in my comment section with long secreted hurling invisitive rather than calmly responding to my fact-based takedowns of her ridiculous videos, Foster hasn't been actively posting on her for Harriet website in years, and has even stopped doing so on Facebook in favors of going full on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Which really, if you just post some short content, you know the attachment of the consumer. But I digress. I digress. Apparently, making videos is easy than actually writing when you add it the with ADHD and possibly on the autism spectrum. As I continue to engage Foster, and as I thought back on my previous engagement with Feminista Jones and Brittany Cooper, the whole thing came together in my mind, and modern black feminism was born. I give fruit life, and thus forth, black feminism is born by these so-called disgruntled lovely ladies. Some big, some small, some short, but nonetheless, they are ladies nonetheless. What differentiates modern black feminism from the black feminists of yesteryear? Black feminists from yesteryear. Of Bell Hooks and Shirley Chisholm, of Angela Davis and Andre Lurdine, or Dorothy Pittman Hughes, and Michelle Faith Wallace, of the types that form up the Combine River Collective. On first glance, one would see much difference both group of black women and now remain fixated on the false ideal that black men as a classic constitute some kind of patriarchal and the either historically and currently oppressive black woman or otherwise wish to an enormously ideal I directly address in this book. And both modern black feminism and their OG black feminist mothers and aunties seem particularly in eeps when it comes to actually getting anything done. And most black women don't get much things done. It's really, if we want to be honest, but that's another story. A fact that I make clear again at the onset of this book: no majority public policies initiatives, to say nothing of law, can be attributed to black feminism overall, nor can black feminism, however one may define it, and can be thanked for making the lives of rank and file black women better in any, what do you call it, demonstrable way. Indeed, the one thing black feminism then and now seems to have been able to do is what they call anglicize the ego of its inherent and biggest names while lining their purses, often through a combination of what I refer to as the Uncle Sam back DEI economy, read the taxpayers speaking engagement, largely connecting to the college campus book writings, and in the case of Foster in particular, hawking t-shirts, sweatshirts, and various other what they call tech tees that women love to frivolously spend their money on. I think it's tikakis. I don't know what that is. Takatis. All right. Moreover, the Black Feminist Project then and now was flawed from the very beginning for a very simple reason. The black man has never been a position to oppress black women, no matter how much cavort academic word salad is heaped on it. Know what truly makes the difference between the two eras of black feminism: the modern black feminist, of which this book aims to address, and is one thing and one thing only: the the internet, or even more previously, the social media. Hold on, hold on a second, guys. Okay. Uh, all right. Let me was I? Where was I? Oh, damn. Okay. No, that's what truly makes the difference between the two eras of Black feminism. The modern Black feminist, of which this book aims to address, is one thing and one thing only: the internet, or even more precisely, social media. The big three of social media worlds: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and later now being known as X since Elon Musk taking over, is what differentiates the two groups. All three got their start in the early aunts of decades of the 21st century, and it would be long before they would become fertile grounds for Black feminist ideas through and my personal favorites, theories. It is the key factors in making modern Black feminism what it is. Because modern Black feminism of the kind that I have named above and quite few others have found a footing on these platforms, and through them have been able to garner an audience that dwarf their Black feminist aunties of the 1970s and 1980s. Indeed, the big three modern Black feminists I mentioned in particular in this chapter, Miss Foster, Feminista Jones, and Brittany Cooper, all got their start online in 2010 decade and became something of a household name during that time period. The Black Manosphere, as we know it today, didn't quite exist. That is to say, a somewhat organized effort on part of the Black men using social media to have their voice heard. And so, for roughly half of 2010 decade, of modern Black feminism kind of had the digital public square all to themselves. The That would change in the summer of 2015 when the Black Master would be born. So next summer of June, and mind you, this is the same year when Momia Obsidian Ali was also born, of June, roughly 2nd of 2015. 2025 of this same month will mark 10 years. So these ladies got their little footnote in 2010. 5 years later, the Black Master is born. Anyway, this is the key difference between the two eras of Black feminism. The social media, online internet element. This is the greatest strength of modern Black feminism, and also their greatest weakness. Because of the very nature of social media, it has the tendency of distort reality and giving one of impressions that it loudest, most shrill voice hold a lot more influence than they actually do, especially in the real world. While any one of the after mentioned names can garner tens of even doubt hundreds of followers and subscribers on their platforms. In the real world, the party faithfully can be counted in the mere dozens. Prove that when you actually get their insane ideals out into the light of day and the real time, the majority of Black women simply do not want to support it. That brings me to something else that has to be said. I want to caution my brothers reading along not to make the mistake of assuming that all or even most Black women today are in fact Black feminists of some strive. The vast majority of them are not. Indeed, when forced to confront the often off the wall and extreme ideals of modern Black feminism and their hegemony or prodigies like Cynthia G., Priscilla Clark, and so-called the Queenmaker, and Black women roughly take a step back. It's one thing to pump your fist online when no one can see you or know your name. Quite something different alongside when you have to show your face and support that troop in real times and face to face. For example, while Black women certainly have gotten more deletion babies by a wide margin relative in their numbers along American women, overall, the vast majority of Black women would not be in support of Cynthia G's genocidal ideals. While roughly A quarter of Black women now identify as bisexual or lesbian, and clear majority of them would not be in support of Miss Clark, Priscilla. Wacky out agenda that fell flat on his face when she attempted to do it herself, I might add. And while Black women overall very much enjoy their freedom of education, career path, and the likes, they do not support the idea of going through this life alone, relying on a sisterhood of Black women to act as stand in for a husband and unclear family. Indeed, the vast majority of Black men are not and have really never been against Black women being educated, fulfilling in a career or business, having the right to vote, or advocating for their interests in the public square, of being able to determine when it's an opportune time to have a baby. All manners of studies bear this out. In fact, Black men, when compared to men of other races and backgrounds in American life, have always been far and always more forward leaning in their outlooks when it comes to women, Black women in particular. This is so true. I will also warn my brothers to resist the urge to label a Black woman a modern Black feminist, okay? Merely for disagreeing with you. It is indeed possible to the later without being in leagues with the former. An entire point of this book is to help brothers know the difference between the two. A bit of skepticism is always a good thing to have within reason. Of course, and just because a Black woman might be a bit skeptical of what you're saying does not automatically mean that she of the stripes of modern Black feminism. This book is also about. Nevertheless, the brothers reading this book needs to be on the lookout for signs that the lovely ladies they encounter in their daily travels might have been infected with the poisons of modern Black feminism, who have had some degree of success. Inception. Black women online. This is particularly important because Black women are known to use social media a lot more than Black men do. In fact, a lot more than just about anyone else in America's life. They are therefore suspectable to seductive rhetorics coming from these modern Black feminist charlatans. And Black men not only need to be aware of this, they also need to know how to effectively combat it, which is the entire point of this book. So the book got you back, brothers. Modern Black feminism influence has on one side sided one, while on the other it has seemed to have morphed into different forms since their heyday of the 2010. Indeed, Miss Foster Jones Cooper have all hit a wall, pardon the pun, in terms of their relevance today in 2024. Foster numerously attempts to jumpstart her flagging of for Harriet brand and relevant herself into the very kind of pick me she exonerates other Black women for being, having all seemed to have fallen that flat. Jones went back to school, literally become the MI archetype that Kevin Samuels lampooned on his widely popular YouTube show during the pandemic, and Cooper has pretty much fallen off the social media map, completely retreating to the gender studies ghettos from she became. Whence she became, sorry. Moreover, the rise of the various soft life, stay at home girlfriend movement seems online and is particularly in the woodly, particularly and female dominant. TikTok seems to have taken a good bit of the wind out of these aging modern Black feminists' sails. Nevertheless, new crop of Black female social media influence like the what they call a formation of Cynthia G, Princess Clark, and well as Shira number 7. And others have kind of come up in 2020s eras, a sort of continuation of what can or what came before modern Black feminism 2.0. If you will, and already as of this writing, All three have seemed to have themselves hit a wall. Sympathy was finally busted and banned from both YouTube and GoFundMe for openly advocating the mass deletions of black male babies. Priscilla Clark has had her short reign as a queenmaker cut short due to relationship scandals and of her own making. And Shara Seven, who for years was known as a sprinkle lady, has seen her own what do you call it shindig turn right back on her with the soft guy era drizzle movement, starring on TikTok as a pardon or parade of her ridiculous idea by quickly morphing into a global phenomenon. If I continue, guys, let me see more. Okay. And on it goes. As modern black feminism on the 2010s continues to wane and their modern black feminist 2.0 sisters come out of the woodwork, they will find themselves increasingly met with a hall response from black men, inspired by the tireless pioneer efforts of the black master funded in the same 2010 decades as modern black feminism and itself forces the Lovelace at the least to debate the veracities of their ideals in real time and to defend them in the light of day in the public square online and off. To date, we have had any takers. Modern black feminism are cowards after all. Thus, the majority trusting of this book to inform, equip, and encourage brothers to confront and card carrying modern black feminist ranking and files and to force them to actually debate and defend their ideals to make it make sense. Let me repeat that again. To make it make sense, defend, debate, and defend their ideals. As it were, it's easy to scream into an echo chamber online, a lot harder to make that routine work in real time. Many brothers will discover, as I soon did, that modern black feminism is a paper tiger, one whose online roaming is a lot stronger than a bit ever could be. That's it. That is it. Hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to stop there, guys. Not going further. I hope this was informative to y'all. I'm looking forward to hearing y'all in the comment section of this. And if you want to hear more or you think it's not, worth continue reading, you're going to have to express that in the comment sections. But other than that, look forward for the next continuation of this. And like always, links in the description below to follow me and to get the book itself. It'll be releasing in November the 6th. So, get your book, get your order in, get your pre-orders now. This is going to be a good one. So, like always, guys, thank you for listening in. Till next time, take care.